Hello everybody. Welcome to Music Theory Knowing Your Thinking Steps. Okay, this video will walk you through the various thinking steps that you need to apply in order to help you work out the answers. And do take note that this video does not cover any teaching or revision of the theory concepts and topics. You should have revised already, okay? And when you are ready, let's get started. Alright, you can download the free sample paper from the ABRSM website. I have included the link in the description box, so just click the description box for more information and download the grade 2 paper. Alright, let's take a look at the first question over here. Okay, we will start by reading the question together. Okay, circle the correct time signature for each of these bars. Okay, so what is the keyword over here? The keyword is time signature. Okay, so what is the thinking steps for this question? You have to draw your shapes, your circles, your halves, your quarters, okay, depending on how many count each note is. Okay, for example, if we take a look at the first question over here, this note with 1 till, if you think it's half a count, you can just draw half. Okay, and then to continue to the second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note. Once you have done all the notes already, you tally the total number of circles you have, then you choose the answer. Okay, so remember to answer all the questions. For question 1.1 part C, I would like you to be very careful of this number 3, okay? This is a triplet, alright? So remember the counting for that. If you don't know, I will recommend you do a very good revision first. Then you come back to this question, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Add one missing bar line to each of these 5 melodies. So what are we supposed to do for this question? Yeah, we are adding bar lines. Okay, and how many bar lines to add? Only one. One per question, okay? One per question A. Okay, just one bar line. And please remember to finish all 5 melodies. Okay, same thing. What's the thinking step? Because we are counting the number of beats, right? So first, take a look at the time signature. Okay, so let me just highlight it for everybody in green. So question 1.2a, this is the time signature, and do take note that every question has a different time signature. Okay, this is a special one. I hope everybody know what this is. Then step number 2, draw your shapes again. Draw your circles, your halves, or your quarters, depending on how many counts is each note. Let's take a look at question 1.2a. The first note over here. Well, if you think this note is 3 counts, you draw 1, 2, 3. And then continue on drawing the counts for the rest of the notes. And once you achieve what you need over here, just draw the bar line. Okay, next question 1.3. Take one box to answer each question. Alright, this is a very easy question. So first thing first, understand the keyword. Question 1.3a over here. How many semiquavers are there in this note? Okay, so these two are very important. So you go and think for yourself. For example, if a semiquaver you think is 1/4 count, you draw quarter. And this note over here, you think, is maybe 1.5 count, you draw. Then what do? Next, you cut them out. Like for example, this is a quarter, right? Remember just now semiquaver, we drew a quarter. So we just proceed to cut everybody in quarter. And then you count how many there are and you can answer. Okay, next question, 1.3b. How many crotchets are there in a semibreve? Same thing first. We're going to highlight crotchets because this is important, and semibreve is your next keyword. This question is easy. Please do it by yourself. When you're ready, let's move on. Question 1.4. Tick one box to show which bar is grouped correctly. Alright, what is this chapter testing us? What is this question testing us? It's the chapter on beaming. Okay, beaming or grouping of the notes. So the thinking step is always take a look at the time signature. Okay, in this question 1.4, all the time signature will be the same because it's one question, but you have, out of these three, you have to pick the one that is correct. Alright, and based on the time signature, you must think of the grouping. Okay, remember the time signature, we have a top number and the bottom number. Usually the bottom number will tell you the grouping. Okay, can? Also, you might want to draw your circle, half or quarters to help you to count the number of beats too. Now let's move on. Question 1.5. Tick across each box to show whether the rests are correct or incorrect. So keyword over here, rests. Okay, when you see rests at grade 2 level, you must right away think of what? The thing called rests and working. Right? Remember rests and working? Usually there will be 3 working steps, remember? Okay, and then you have to take a look at the time signature. Okay, so this time signature is over here, and based on the time signature, you go and think whether you need how many steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Do you need 1 step, 2 steps, or all 3 steps? Okay, so a reminder, please draw the total number of circles for each bar first. Total circles. Like for example, if 3, 4, you think that there are 3 beats in a bar, okay, you draw 3 circles first. Okay, and then you see whether you need step 2 or step 3 or not. Right, and you can only shade number 3, thinking step number 3, shade only the notes, you can't shade the rest. If you shade the rest, you don't know whether the rests are correct or not. So shade the notes only. Okay, like for example, in this bar over here, you see that this note is 1 count, so you shade 1. Okay, and then you go and think whether this one is correct or not for. Oops, I shouldn't have drawn the box. Give me a minute. You should go and see whether the remaining, is it correct or not. Okay, one thing to highlight that this question, okay, the first bar there's nothing, so there's no need for you to work on this bar. Okay, you just have to focus on the questions that have the box. Okay, so the bars that are above the questions are the ones that you have to focus on. Okay, next question. Question 1.6. Look at this bar of music. Which of the following shows the bar above correctly written using notes half the value? Okay, keyword, 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 half the value. So the thinking step for this question will be number 1. look at the time signature. Number 2, check one note at a time. Okay, so the original time signature for this question is 2-2. Okay, then we go and think 2-2 means what? Okay, if you think 2-2 means 2 minute beat, then half of this will become, like you think 1 minute beat half becomes a crotchet, second minute beat half becomes a crotchet. So you do one note at a time. Okay, so based on these 2 crotchets, the new time signature will be, okay, and then you go and check whether the time signature correct or not. In this case, the time signature, they are all the same, right? Then you go and check the notes. Okay, remember, check one note at a time. Like you do this note, then you check, this one correct or not. Okay, then after that, you go to the next note. Okay, wait, let me change the color. You go and check the second note, and then you see, the second note correct or not, is it half or not? And then you continue until you reach the end. You should be able to get the answer really easy for this question. Okay.